Hey everyone, it's Susan Walsh, the classification guru, fixer of dirty data, and it's full on day one here at Alteryx Inspire. Everyone is buzzing. It's a great atmosphere around here. I'm really excited to have Srini with me from Bounteous. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and about Bounteous?
Sure. Thanks for the opportunity. So I'm Srini Vaidyanathan, Vice President in the Technology Business Unit at Bounteous.
Yeah,
So Bounteous is an interesting company, an AI services firm
yeah,
that sits in the intersection of how we connect human experiences with agentic reinvention of
yeah.
businesses. So I think we work with a vast set of customer bases, and my specific portfolio is on the high tech and SaaS space. So where we are seeing a lot of how data, AI, and the whole underlying business getting transformated in the to match the agentic world here. So
Yeah.
really excited to be part of Inspire and looking forward to learn more.
Fantastic. Well, I've got a few questions for you.
Sure.
Um, First up, how do you tell the difference between a client genuinely transforming with agentic AI and one that's just running an expensive proof of concept?
Well, I think the answer is pretty straight. I think you can get it in the first 5 minutes of a conversation,
Yeah,
right? There are two types of conversations you have, right? There is one that talks about what this initiative is really going to move on your P&L, right? And
yeah.
then there is another set of discussion which is all around how cool the technology is, what's the underlying orchestration behind and things. So it's very obvious which one is going to move. It's most likely the
Yeah,
former, like
I find when talking to clients that it's some of them are doing it just because everyone else is, and then
yes.
others are like, "This is exactly what we want to do. This is what we want to achieve," and you
Absolutely.
know the ones that are going to work out.
Yeah. And there is also another way, a little more technical, like where we have seen customers who are open for integrating AI and the results of AI into their, core systems like systems of record, like CRM, right? Looking at their own product, customer-facing workflows. That says a lot of confidence, right?
Yeah.
So there is one thing to run an AI on a sandbox with some synthesized data,
Oh yeah.
and there is one thing to run it on production,
But
right?
also, I find even a sample of your real data versus the whole data set can tell you a very different picture as well.
Yes, absolutely. So I think so, and there is a lot of work behind it, right? You need to get your underlying foundations right, right?
Yeah,
And I call it actually non-glamorous work. Like
yeah.
people, I mean, that grunt work is what really keeps your AI up and
I
running, right?
clean data for a living
Oh,
by with people. You know,
okay.
we do that really horrible stuff. So I 100% agree with you on that. Then you
Yes,
get the really good AI, right?
absolutely. Yep.
But
So it's
everyone's looking for a shortcut.
yeah, everyone wants to build the agent and then fix the data
Yeah,
where it has to be the other, right?
yeah.
So yeah.
Cool. Sorry, I'm laughing. We had someone nearly walk through. We're in a live environment. Um, and then, which business functions are seeing real measurable ROI from agentic AI? Because a lot of it is still mostly hype, and we're seeing lots of stats around, 90% of POCs are failing or they haven't proved any value. So,
Yeah, I think there is obvious answer to it, like where you can fast track your product engineering and stuff. Like
yeah,
you have your agentic SDLC, right? That's helping you to ship products faster to market, right?
yeah,
But I feel there are other niche areas as well where
yeah,
AI is really making a lot of progress. Like for example, the whole RevOps management.
yeah,
If you look at it, right, starting from your code to cash, how are you cutting down on your financial approvals? How can you automate some of your pricing rules so that that whole process becomes very seamless, right?
yeah.
And then you really focus on trying to understand what's the revenue that you leaked in this quarter with such agents rather than going through manual Excel sheets and whatnot, right?
Yeah.
So I think that is one. I think I'm also seeing a lot of good agentic use cases in the customer service space, right? Agents are able to predict churn better than manual models, like
Oh, that's
human.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh, have you got like so how what is it looking at? What data points is
So
it?
I think we have really seen for one of our fintech customers.
Yeah,
I think we have really seen AI predict churn better, right? I
yeah.
mean, we were able to. I would say we were in the 15 to 20% range, where to be very conservative, where we have really seen AI predict churn better than humans, right? So,
Fantastic.
yeah,
I mean, everyone knows I talk about using AI wisely, not blindly. It's knowing what it's good at and what it's not, and testing it and
Right.
finding where it works in your organization.
Exactly, and I think just adding the point to that, like there is also a lot of AI enhancement that can happen on the BDR and on SDR play,
Yeah.
right? You have AI enterprise coach now that helps you sell, right? It gives you. We have built AI systems that kind of give you a single shot of what's an SDR's priority, what should he go after, what's the result of this meeting, what's next. I think it kind of brings. I mean, we realize more than 60% of an SDR's time is
Yeah.
actually spent on grunt work, like trying
Yeah.
to follow up on meetings and things like that.
Yeah.
The moment you lift that off their plate, I think they really focus on selling.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so those
And
are some
listening to the
intelligent
customer.
plays of AI outside of the product engineering that we are seeing there.
Yeah. Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
So what about vanity metrics? How do you avoid those? Um, tasks are automated, time saved, and get to something that actually maps to business value.
Oh yeah, that's a $1 million question. I mean, I think vanity metrics is true. Like for example, uh, like hours saved, right? I mean, that's like the metric that it's a metric that it shows what you want rather
Yeah.
than what you want it to show, rather
Yeah.
than the real underlying business value, right?
Yeah.
So we believe, I think the from a metric standpoint, I think at least from a Bounteous principle, we always start from your end goal, like the business goal or the outcome that you want to drive, and then reverse work and build the agents, right?
Yeah.
So if you really want, for example, your renewals to improve, right? The metric that you should be chasing with agentification is probably your net retention score, right?
Okay.
Rather than saying that, hey, we have used AI to kind of summarize so many emails, right?
Yeah.
See, that metric is very nice, but what is it going to result you
You want
at
it
the end of the day?
to pull something out that you wouldn't see yourself, right?
Yes, absolutely,
Yeah.
right. So I think a lot of these hours saved, efficiencies, etc. Right. I mean, I look at like sugar soda, if you want to
Yeah.
call it. It gives you the real high the moment you look at it, but then you realize
Yeah.
it's not the actual value that is providing you.
Yeah. Oh, that's a great analogy.
Yeah.
And what is the most common reason a promising agentic AI initiative stalls or fails? Is it technology, organizational, people?
So maybe a couple of years back, I would have said technology,
Yeah.
but right now I feel it is heavily organizational, right? Because technology is definitely sorted.
Yeah.
People have like I think a lot of our customers have figured out the tech.
Yeah.
I think the play where we are actually looking at is the organizational changes,
Yeah.
right? More around accountability, right?
Yeah.
Like AI also means a larger accountability. Now you need an executive to back you on the agentification
Yeah.
rather than somebody who's an executive sponsor for a POC,
Yeah.
right? So I think that level of accountability from leadership is really key.
Yeah.
So and I
I
also
love that accountability because
yes.
it's always like it's not my
Yes.
responsibility. I don't want to deal with
Yeah,
it.
I love AI. I want to use Claude. I want to use OpenAI, but I don't want to take the accountability of the errors. I think that's not the way how
Yeah.
it works, right?
Yeah.
And the other thing I've also seen a lot with this AI is change management,
Yes.
right?
That's huge.
Huge part of it.
Yeah.
And I think the people we obviously believe that with AI coming in, the people dependency
Yeah.
is going to be lesser,
Yeah.
right? But I believe with the human in the loop, the people responsibility is a little more
Yeah.
concentrated, I would say, rather than less or more,
Yeah.
right? I think from your decisions, the stakes of your decisions go
Yeah.
high rather than the number of decisions you make.
Yeah.
You may be asked to make just one decision, but that is going to be a very crucial decision.
Yeah.
So I think this change management is something that organizations are pushing hard and
Yeah.
and they are trying. And I believe the orgs that have got that crack, I think,
Yeah.
are there in the AI transformation phase.
Yeah. Fantastic. What will the enterprises that got agentic AI right have in common, and what separates them from those pilot purgatory people?
Yeah, so I think the I think much of it is already we spoke about, like where do you want to spend your
Yeah.
time in defining the outcomes and then
Yeah.
building the agents,
Yeah.
or you want to build an agent and see what outcome it
Yeah.
generates. That mindset shift is
Yeah.
really key. And I think there is also a lot to do with the unglamorous work, like I said, getting your data pipelines done, getting your data right,
Yeah. Are
right.
you
And
listening, people? Do the hard work.
So, and you look at how you can solve some of your underlying challenges around integrating systems, right? And then build AI on top of it, right?
Yeah.
So I think it's not like it's like putting the horse, I mean, cart before the
Yeah.
horse kind of a scenario here.
I've got one final question for you, and that is, what are the kind of common challenges that you're helping your clients with?
So I think there are quite a few things that we do. Like we can help build products faster, like
Yeah.
product engineering. We also do a lot of things to get the best out of the platforms they have already invested
Oh,
in,
that's really handy.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and of course the third and big one, which the first two is probably leading to, is agentic business reinvention,
Oh.
right? Which is not just about technology, right?
Yeah.
Your entire organization has to come together to get that done.
Yeah.
Like an AI initiative is no more a CIO or a CTO initiative, right? You need to have your CMO or your CRO, your CFO, everybody on board to
Yeah.
kind of do something. So
Yeah.
that's where Bounteous is looking to grow and move forward towards.
Well, Srini, thank you so much for your time. If people want to know more about Bounteous, where can they find more information?
Yeah, I think, of course, our website, bounteous.com, and we're happy to kind of support and answer any more questions.
Great, and I'll pop the website link in the comments. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thank
Nice
you.
meeting you. Thank you.